I was talking to someone over the weekend, and they asked me about this.
Was this someone an imaginary friend?
No, this one was quite real, actually.
Okay.
And they were brought up this. What is the harder job to have? Being a veterinarian or being a medical doctor?
Oh.
Who has the tougher way to go? The vet or the MD?
All right, Fez, not knowing which way you went on this, I'm going to give you what I believe are the difficult things. Number one, if you're a veterinarian, it's difficult because you don't know what's coming in yet. Next, you could show up at a veterinarian with a fucking zebra and he's going to take a look at it for you. Or it could be a dog, a cat, a frog, a snake. He doesn't know what he's going to look at. All right? The easy side is, who gives a fuck how good he does on it? It's not like he's got any of the pressure of a people doctor, as you folks down south would call it. So for that reason alone, I'd have to say the doctor. Tougher job, and society looks at it like it's tougher. Society, if you say, I'm a doctor, they find a table for you at the restaurant. No one ever screams out, is there a veterinarian in the house? It's not that big a deal.
See, I thought it was the vet. Because I thought, going by what you said...
A vet, yes, if you're coming back from Vietnam, that's difficult. But a veterinarian, it's kind of a nice job.
Veterinarian is what I'm saying, tougher one. Mainly because of what you said. You don't know if you're getting a bird or a lizard. You got to know so much more stuff.
Not necessarily. You don't have to know it. You just do the best you can. And everybody puts up with that. Where if you're a doctor, they treat you right off the bat like you're God.
And a veterinarian also... can get bit. Your patient will bite you.
You can get bit if you're a regular doctor. By the way, though, with veterinarians, they have assistants that take care of that. They muzzle that animal. You never hear about a veterinarian being bit by a pit bull.
And also, on the veterinarian side, you can't speak animal. If a dog's barking or whimpering, you don't know for sure if you got what's wrong with that dog. A person patient can tell you exactly how they're feeling right to the very specific symptoms.
And tell you how they're not feeling. They can lie to you where an animal can't lie to you. Or a person could say, you don't understand. You tell me I'm supposed to be feeling better. I'm not. If you tell a person he's got cancer, he's scared. Even if it's treatable, that's still part of the problem, is that he's worried. You tell a dog that he's got cancer, you might as well be telling him that he's got ice cream. He don't fucking know what you're saying. He doesn't know one way or another. When it's a person, it's human life. Let me ask you this. The main thing that a doctor has to worry about is malpractice, right?
Right.
Ever hear of malpractice on a veterinarian? No. What are you going to do? Oh, my puppy's dead and it's your fault. All right, well, here's $125. Why don't you go out and get yourself a new dog? Where it's going to cost you millions and millions if you screw up and cost someone their mom.
I got to think a success rate for a vet is so much lower than a doctor.
Absolutely.
It's got to be tougher.
You know why? No one cares. Half the time you go in there, they'll go, all right, we can do this for your dog or put him to sleep. I know my family had 2 dogs put to sleep this year. So they just half the time they're going, I could either do something that's going to take a while or just give your dog a shot and put him out of its pain. Most of the time a veterinarian talks you into trying to kill the dog. They kill more than they save. They should have a big black hood over their head when you come in.
They're not executioners. They're trying to save everything from rhinos to puppies.
All right. In your neighborhood, who's going to bring a fucking rhino in? I guarantee you most vets are going to yell, get that rhino out of here. Take him to the zoo. I have no idea what it is. Plus, I think all animals are fairly the same on the inside. Whether it's a frog or a dog or a tiger, once you open them up, it pretty much looks the same. Here's Neil. Neil, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How are you?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an easy one. I take my dog in, I say, look, cut my dog's nuts off, please.
Right.
No problem.
Right.
The dog's not going to say anything, right?
Right.
Right. Now, look, if my wife took me to the doctor and said, cut this guy's nuts off, there's going to be a big problem there.
See, that's the thing, Fez. A human knows where he's at, what's happening to him, and understands mortality. A dog doesn't really understand mortality. They have no idea what they're dealing with. Let me check with Earl this. Earl, in the black community, what's considered a tougher job? Well, a black vet or a black doctor?
I would probably say doctor, because you got to deal with so much, particularly a lot of attitude.
Right.
A ton of attitude. You know,
a growling dog is an attitude.
Well, yeah, but you can deal with a growling dog. You can put a muzzle on it. You want to deal with a growling woman, a black woman?
Seriously. If you want to have a black woman and tell her that you're going to cut her son's nuts off, she's going to go fucking crazy on you.
Or just like you're doing a routine examination. Why are you touching me there? Why?
Right.
You're just dealing with human error. Or if you have to deal with a kid.
Right.
And the kid starts screaming and he's
so
screaming in your
big thing
ear.
is a vet isn't going to get called on sexual harassment.
Well, not
that is true.
Well, not just that, like with a kid.
I'm shocked they can't use the vet. I had no idea.
But especially, like you don't have to deal with a screaming kid.
Absolutely.
You don't have to deal with difficult parents.
Plus, who gives a fuck? If you're a doctor and the baby dies, you got to feel fucking freaked out. If the puppy dies, hey, go get Jimmy a new puppy. It's a whole. There's absolutely no pressure when you're the vet.
Yeah, an animal's a lot more replaceable.
No, yeah, except for one, and I'll give you this, Fez. If you're working on racehorses. If you're working on racehorses, I bet you're paying attention.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of money there.
Yeah.
You could cost someone a fortune by killing their racehorse.
Exactly. So it becomes about value, right?
Yes.
That's what you're saying. And what value in the world is there for a kitten? $1? Half the time they give them out for free. So a human is considered valuable. A racehorse has value because humans can gamble on it. Dogs and cats, next to no value. And that's the difference. That's the difficult part of this. That's when you've got to pay attention. All right, Robin's disagreeing with me. Robin, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Ron,
yeah.
Ron. You sound like such an idiot.
All right, give it to me.
You don't know what you're talking about. Most veterinarians in the field care deeply about their patients and don't just give people the option of putting them to sleep. Do you know there's
every time I've gone into a vet, I got the option of putting the dog to sleep, even for a shampoo job.
Okay. How many different vets have you been to?
I've been to 3 different vets in my life, and 3 different vets have put dogs to sleep.
There are a lot of vets out there that are idiots, but did you know there's also veterinarians that are specialists? They train for an additional 4 years in internal medicine, in radiology.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure some people want to keep their animals alive. That's not what we're talking about. We said, what's the more difficult job? And the more difficult job is doctor.
Oh, no, I would hate, yeah, exactly. I'd hate to work with people, but, I mean, come on.
Wait, this started, Robin, with what was the more difficult job, and what is it?
Well, I mean, it's very hard to be a veterinarian because your patients can't tell you what's wrong.
Right, but again, you don't give a shit. You don't have to deal with them, and you don't have to deal with the lawsuits after.
That is so not true. Do you know how many veterinarians get sued? There's a veterinary board for every.
But what do you have to pay back? Let's suppose at the most, you're going to have to pay out like a G-Bo. At the most, it's going to cost you $1,000.
You could lose your license.
What license? Truck license?
Vet license. And the medical doctor doesn't have his patients shitting and pissing in his waiting room.
Who doesn't?
Medical doctors.
You don't think people are shitting and pissing all over the place? You've never been to a hospital?
Not on a regular basis.
Here is Turtlehead. Turtlehead, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, if these racing horses are so important, how come every time a horse breaks a leg, they put it down?
Yeah, because they can't fix it.
Well, yeah, but why put it down? If a human broke their leg, you can't put it down.
Because a human can relearn what to do. With a horse, I guess those legs are kind of fragile, as fast as they are.
Yeah, and I would think that a human, you can tell them go put your leg up on a pillow for a few weeks. A horse has got to walk.
But if these vets are so smart, how come they can't come up with a gimmick to save a horse from a broken leg? If every time a human broke a leg and he was dead, there'd be like 18 people left in the country. Here's Matt. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, guys. Hey, welcome back.
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to call BS on this stuff, man. They roll the dice. I brought my puppy out to the veterinarian. It's a big time guessing game. I can't even explain. My girl can't even go to the vet because she gets so upset because these guys, it could be this, could be that. I mean, what kind of job is that?
Yeah. No, exactly. Like that regular vet, he doesn't know what the fuck is wrong. He attempts to give some kind of pills. Now, there must be some kind of vet that goes and works with cattle or something that, there's money involved, and I'm sure they probably get paid a little better.
Those mad cow vets.
Yeah. They must be worth something. They must be worth something to the gimmick. Here's Steve. Steve, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, bud.
6214.
Oh, way to go to old school for us.
Yeah, a veterinarian has to work on a whole bunch of different species, where a doc has to work on one species.
Right, but here's the thing. No one gives a shit. If you show up with a pelican and its wing is broken, no one cares. You show up with a kid and he's sick, he's hurt, then all of a sudden you got 20 people outside. You could be sued for anything. You can't fuck up with this kid. You fuck up with a pelican. How long are they supposed to live anyway? 5 years? What have you done? You've saved something for an extra 7-8 months. Not that big a deal.
Being a vet must be like being a doctor on Star Trek, where you're just facing aliens all day long.
Well, I guess you have a little background in it, right?
Yeah.
But if someone brought me in a frog, I'm like, I'm not fucking taking up my time to say if your frog or your turtle is okay. I'm going to work with a dog up. You know, that people will try to bring a wild squirrel into a vet's office, and they're like, oh, could you take, the vet's like, yeah, I got it. You go ahead home. He's going to fucking hit that thing up with a hot shot and throw it in a trash can.
I can't even imagine how you would begin to work on some sort of wild rodent that someone brought in a shoebox into your office.
I know.
Where in the world would you start?
See, that's the funny thing is, like, if someone brings a dog in, because they'll pay for it, you're going to work on it. No one's working on a rat, going, oh, my God, I found this rat, and it looks like he got his foot caught in something. They would just kill it immediately. Their main thing is killing stuff.
Rats are supposed to look bad.
No, I remember my best friend used to have a ferret, which is basically a glorified rat, in my opinion. But,
yeah.
And I was like, how do you...
Were you guys playing ass games with it?
No.
All right.
It's like, how can you tell... He also had snakes and everything. I'm like, how can you tell when it's sick, and where do you take it when it gets sick, as opposed to... You know what I mean? It's like, who's going to specialize in ferret?
Yeah, is there some sort of varmint doctor?
Hey, Mike, you're on Run of Fez.
Yeah, hi. If veterinarians are so good, says the next time you have a heart attack, why don't you have a vet take a look at you?
Yeah.
I'm a fucking doctor.
Yeah, why don't you do that, vet? Why don't you go to a vet next time you're scared?
Because I am not an animal.
Why? They work on so many species. They're able to deal with so many species. You would never trust a vet to work on you. You know why?
Why?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Not as a bad thing. I'm not attacking these people. But let's face it, they don't know what they're doing. Dave, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, boys, how's it going?
Yeah.
Hey, I was wondering if you guys happened to catch that show on 60 Minutes, or that little episode they had about a week ago about the veterinarians down in Kentucky that are taking care of that horse that's put out to stud for $500,000 a pop.
Right. That's the ones that I was talking about, that, you know, you don't want to fuck up with a horse like that. And their main thing is to try to get two horses to fuck.
Yeah, I think even if that horse broke its legs, they'd probably figure out a way to make it fuck still.
Yeah, I would. I'd at least try to keep the balls alive. I don't know how you would do it. I'm going to imagine some big petri dish. But, yeah, I think you could be sued you fuck up with a horse. But I can't imagine a big lawsuit if you suddenly made some mistake with that. And you know what, Fez? I bet most of these guys, they couldn't fix a rhino or a dolphin if you brought them in. They probably would know as much as you.
You never see a dolphin get saved. A dolphin or a whale that washes up on a beach, that success rate has to be maybe 0.5%.
I let most of the time there, they try to drag him out to deep water. Once you try that with a human, he's sick. Well, let's drag him out to deep water. That ought to fucking do it.
Or just a lot of wet rags on a dolphin.
And somebody's telling me they're a vet. I'm going to go like, I think I could have done it. Who's going to bitch at you? Who is going to complain? You don't think I could put needles in the animals and have them put to sleep? And I guarantee you, a vet kills more animals than any hunter in this country.
The way it sounds is like they don't treat any of them. They just put them all to sleep.
Here is Mike. Mike, you're on Run of Fez.
Yeah, hi. I was just saying, at first I totally disagreed with you, but we had a kitten, and it had a cyst on its eye.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it was pretty bad. But the vet gave us maybe 9 medications, so it's pretty much like a shot in the dark.
Yeah, it's catch as catch can. Like,
yeah,
here's whatever antibiotic that kills as many things as you possibly can. You know what I mean? Here, just try to flush the system with all this. Give them a lot of water, and that's it. Have them sleep on blankets. It's not like they ever really come up with anything. They take hooks out of stuff, let's face that. You know,
I wouldn't want to do that job.
What, taking hooks out of stuff?
Yeah, especially while it's flopping around or, scratching at you.
You put a needle in it first. You knock everything out in the vet world. It's not with humans, Fezzy.
See, that's another hard part, knowing what's going to knock something out and not kill it.
What do you care if it dies? That's the beauty of it. You shoot it with a dart.
They should at least try.
Yeah, they do try. I don't understand why you don't think that they try. They try, but there's no risk whatsoever. And I'm not saying he's out to kill your dog. But if he comes in and says to you, hey, I did everything I could, your dog's dead, you're going to feel bad. He says, I did everything I could, your mom's dead. You're like, let's fucking look into this, asshole. This could mean some big cash for me and my family. What kind of money are you going to get if your dog passes away? $300? I'm sure he keeps a fucking cigar box filled with cash that he just takes out and throws at people. You don't like it? Here, go buy yourself another squid.
Let's settle this out of court.
Marty, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I was in a vet's office one day, and they had a cage full of squirrels that they had operated on, like in little bitty splints and stuff. I guess he's got to be really good to work on something that's small, but you got to wonder why he bothered.
Yeah, and I think that's why they let women in that field, because they have their little tiny hands that can get in there. You can let women or children actually get in there and work on some of these animals.
I wouldn't let children operate on an animal.
Why not? Kids love animals. Les, you're on Run and Fez.
Yeah, I took an alligator into a veterinarian because it'd been hit by a car.
Yeah.
And the veterinarian made me stay there with the gator and hold the gator that way he fixed it, so that way the gator wouldn't bite it.
Yeah. All right, see, that is another thing. They will ask you to come in and help, where you'll never find that with a real doctor. All right, this on the we got this sent to us at ronandfez@AOL.com. My vet turned out to be a hunter. Does that make any sense at all? That is bizarre when you think about it. But I think a lot of vets, they believe in, their whole thing is just pruning the herd.
Circle of life stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if he ran to help the animal that he had just shot, like it's some sort of Munchausen by proxy deal, where it was a sickness with him.
So after he shoots it, he yells, grab my bag. This deer has been knocked down.
We've got a doe down. Then that would just be insane.
Well, what about, would you expect a vet to eat meat? Should every vet be a vegan?
You would think, if the love of animals is there so much to swear an oath to help them, you would think, vegan time.
All right, which is basically saying insane. Anyone who doesn't eat meat is kind of crazy.
A veterinarian that hunts is like who was the guy, the serial killer in England years and years ago? The Ripper.
Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, Jack the Ripper, where they think he was a doctor who went around slicing people up at night, slicing up whores.
All right, here's Dr. Shaver. Ernie Shaver, he's known to as his friends. How are you, Doctor?
Hi, I'm doing fine. I was catching you guys' comments about the veterinarian that hunts. It just so happens I am a vet that does hunt.
Right.
I guess you might call it Frankenstein complex, if you will. When I was in school, the professor that taught us was saying that, we shouldn't develop Frankenstein complexes to kill an animal and then try to bring it back to life. But anyway, what I was going to say is I heard the earlier comment about that veterinarians kill more patients than normal doctors. That's, in fact, not quite true. Veterinarians are under almost the same oath as a normal doctor. It's just our patients are different.
Uh-huh. And what way?
It's the same.
They bark more.
Right.
Right. So, but, I mean, if a doctor went out and hunted humans, that would seem strange. So you can't feel the same way about your patients if you're a hunter.
It's kind of strange because, myself, I do hunt, so, and then I practice veterinary medicine. So there is a line. I guess it's an emotional line that's strong.
I think that you would have to say veterinarian, vegetarian. I'm a veterinarian, vegetarian most of the time. Now, what is most of your day? Delivering calves? What do you do most days?
I work in small animal practice. I'm branching out in small animals, making reference to, like Earl said earlier.
So if I brought a big animal in, you would not see it.
That's prejudice.
Well, it's not really prejudice. There's practices of small animals and large animals. You have your large animals like farm variety, horses, cows. A lot of vets specialize in that. Then there are other vets that specialize in small animals such as dogs, cats, ferrets, birds, reptiles. They have a number of fields. I myself am moving to Wyoming here shortly to branch out into wildlife medicine.
Sounds like it.
So, whereas, take up practice with wildlife, like Fez was saying earlier, you have a deer that might be sick with some kind of disease, and you try to
deer
isolate
tick.
that disease.
We've talked to the doctor, and I just threw the quotes up for a little while now, Fez. Now, Fez, does he strike you as an overly intelligent guy? And I'm not ball busting, but I'm just saying.
He doesn't sound like any of the medical doctors I've encountered in the past 2 months.
Thank you. Because he's like this. Yeah, I like to work on a squirrel or any kind of a weasel.
It didn't help when he said he's going to live with the Eagles.
Yeah. I'll take a talon. I'll cut the talon off something and try to solder something else on them. You know what I'm saying? His calf is breech. He doesn't sound like a doctor. Doesn't sound like you would get a good table. Now, when you're fixing wild animals, how do you get paid, doctor?
The state actually does that.
How much?
Well, it depends. If you work under contract with whatever state it is, like, say, the state of Wyoming or whatever state.
Would they just pay you a yearly salary or get paid per eagle and antelope?
No, the government will pay you a base salary every year.
What do you think that base salary would be? About?
I could ballpark it between, say, 30 and 80,000, depending on experience.
30 and 80,000, Fez.
Mm-hmm.
Do I rest my case here? A doctor getting paid between 30 and 80?
That seems like you should get more money, Dr. Shaver.
Well,
he would, but he's working on animals instead of people.
Right.
He needs to come up with some sort of prairie dog scam where they're faking injuries and he's getting paid more by the state.
All right, thank you very much, Doc.
Okay.
30 and 80 grand. These fucking doctors around Manhattan, they're living in penthouses.
That's what they're getting for aspirins.
Yeah. Exactly. Here's Brian. Brian, you're on Fez.
Hey, first of all, that hunting vet is just insane. Second of all, when I was in high school, we took my dog to the vet, and because it had a big growth on his thing, the vet looked at it for 2 minutes, said, it's cancer, put it to sleep. So we took it back to my parents' house. Everybody was crying and stuff. We brought the dog back. We put it to sleep. And they had an intern working that was going to put it to sleep, actually do the, inject it, whatever they were going to do.
Yeah.
He looked at it for 2 seconds, was like, oh, let me just check this out. It turned out to be a cyst. They removed the cyst. The dog lived for 10 more years. But the doctor was ready to dismiss it right away.
I know. Now, if that was a person, you would have had a big lawsuit on your hands.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? All right, see ya.
You take that to a judge, and you go, whatever. What can I tell you? The guy fucked up. Let's not make a big deal about this. Oh, got a big thing. I want to work out west, take care of buffalo, antelope, jackalope, jackrabbit, prairie dog, real dog, cat, wild cat. That does not sound like a doctor to me.
You would think he'd get paid more, though, at least, the bigger the animal.
Wait, would you pay the elephant doctor the most?
Yeah.
I think a whale doctor. How you doing, Matt? You're on Run Fez.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, buddy.
I just wanted to say that it's really hard to work on animals. Like, I went to school for, 10 years? I got in the vet school. and now I just got out. I'm making good money, but it's like hard to talk to the animals, you know? Like you can't really talk to them, so you have to diagnose them without actually knowing what's up.
So you don't even know what you're doing. You have no fucking idea what you're doing.
See how tough it is? You got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're doing.
How can you?
I went to school for 10 years.
Would you know what to do if someone brought a frog in?
I worked on frogs, pigs, horses, cows, all on the same day. People call from farms. They want me to come in. You just have to play it by ear and hope for the best.
You play it by ear and hope for the best. Could you imagine if a fucking surgeon said that to you? Yeah, your dad's coming in. What do you think the chances are? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to play it by ear, hope for the best. I don't know. I'm going to roll some dice.
You'd be running off the table.
I mean, you guys act like if, like doctors never work on deaf people. It fucking happens. Or retarded kids. They got to figure out what's going on. Or, see, the thing is...
That brings in the biting and pissing again.
And again, you act like just because people can tell you things that they're telling you the truth. Half the people lie so they can up their meds. Most of the time you're dealing with people that are trying to get out of work or don't want you to know they have a brain tumor. They're like, no, everything's going great. I can kind of see.
It's like guys who see when they have, let's just say, dysfunction sexually. They just want the meds.
Right.
They just want more. They're like, I'm not feeling all right.
You know how many healthy guys want those fucking meds still?
Yes.
A guy that's got a heart on still going, I wonder how big my heart I can be if I fucking double down. And then you're going to go out hunting after the fact? That's insane. Here's Brent. Brent, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Brent, go ahead.
Hey, guys.
Hey, buddy.
I don't think it's that crazy for a vet to be a hunter. I mean, the guy, like, in Louisiana, for instance, you got farmers that they call out the vet. The vet comes out. You know, he's trying to keep the animal alive so they can kill it later and sell it.
See, that's a very good point. Most of the vets, I would suspect the higher paid vets are working with livestock.
Absolutely.
And they're doing a lot of the stuff, how to make a pig fatter, how to add stuff to make the calves fatter, chickens.
Right. I mean, they're trying to keep the guy alive, so, you know.
Basically, they're in the food business. Most veterinarians are in the food business.
You got it.
It's basically a butcher.
Well, what about the guy, like, to me, a vet that would actually have statures, like someone who's diagnosing the bird flu? You know what I mean?
Right.
Someone where it could cause a pandemic or something?
Yes,
like,
only because it affects what? Humans.
People.
And when it gets back to around humans, that's where the value comes in. Could this somehow fuck with humans? Then suddenly we're going, wait, there is some value with this. I agree there. I'm not saying vets are stupid. Although the two guys we talked to today, neither one of them seem like bright guys. And not to put them down, but normally when you talk to a doctor, there's some amount of reverence. Some of these people think a vet is like St. Francis. You know, like there's just going to be like little doves hanging on his fingers and all. He doesn't necessarily like these animals.
Yeah, doctors sound very authoritative. It's just, you know, they'll be like, sir, you have a problem here. And I mean, very... almost reassuring that there's something wrong with you or there's something or how to get better. Those guys sounded very laid back.
Hey,
too laid back.
Yeah.
As a Redskins fan, what do you think? Doctor or vet? What's more difficult?
I'm going with doctor.
Uh-huh.
You know, Billy Crystal delivered a fucking calf. Would you want him delivering your kid?
Hell no. Hell no, not Billy Crystal.
That was a movie, Elfish.
That's a really good point. Hold on. That's a really good point that he came up with. What about Billy Crystal, Fez?
I'm against him personally.
No one has said anything about that yet. Here's Tony. Tony, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey, it's Tony.
Yeah, that's why I said hi, Tony.
What's happening, man?
Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, I had a cat, and the vet, I think he just wanted to blow up the freaking bill, so he just kept the cat on IV for an entire month, and after the cat died, they checked it for, like, autopsy and all that.
Yeah.
And all it was a freaking tick. The cat would have, like, stayed alive for, like, 3 more years. It was, like, 17. Big fucking waste, you know?
Yeah, it is. Most of the time, it's a waste.
And
most of the time, when there's something wrong with the animal, you can just burn it off, like with a tick.
And you got to remember to burn it off.
Yeah.
Or it'll get lodged under the skin.
Yeah, well, you know, fat cats, you can't find everything.
That's true. Here is Josh. Josh, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey, how you guys doing? Happy New Year.
Thank you, Josh. Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, I just had a comment on the whole like dogs and cats can't talk back, but I mean, certain areas like I can almost guarantee, like in Hollywood, where you got like say for instance Britney Spears, if she had a cat or whatever, and she went in there and the doctor said or the veterinarian said they're going to put her to sleep, she's going to have a cow. You know, she's going to blow up at you, and you're going to probably be dealing like a lawsuit or whatever. I mean, you got some really crazy owners out there that are crazy over there.
Name one lawsuit you ever heard somebody got big money because their dog died. I'm guarantee you, all you're going to get is value of the dog. That is what you are going to get. And most of these dogs are a couple of $100, maybe a couple grand on the real high end.
On the show dogs.
Yeah. Again, how many show dogs are there? Out of the whole planet, how many are actually show dogs? You find more supermodels than you do show dogs.
Those are probably ones that go to the vet the most, though.
The only difference between vets and doctors, I think vets probably fuck more their patients. I think a lot of those guys get in there, you get a sheep up in some stirrups, you know he ain't going to say nothing to nobody. You're figuring, what the fuck?
Well, who's going to check on that guy in Wyoming? No one.
He'll be living a life with his 35 grand.
I hope that doesn't go for the small animal doctors.
That's the only ones I'd want.
Mink.
Yeah. I want something small and tight. Something that's going to be impressed with me. What are you going to do? You stick your fucking dick in a hippo? They're going to laugh at you. You might as well stick your dick out of a bay window, Fezzy. I've told you time and time again.
Yeah, why do you keep telling me that?
Small and tight. That's the way to play it. If you're going to be a vet. Here's Norm. Norm, you're on Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
What's up? Fezzy, you know us. My wife's a veterinarian.
Oh, this is Norm. Him and his wife took me to the Bronx Zoo.
That's right.
When my family was in town.
Yeah. It's nice taking retards to the zoo. Way to go, Norm.
She's a very smart lady. They figure, among other vets, they say the pecking order for doctors is if you're smart enough, you could become a veterinarian. If you're not smart enough to get in veterinary school, you become a human doctor. If you don't make that, then you could become a dentist. And if you fail out of dental school, you become a chiropractor.
Now, your mom, your wife works at the Bronx Zoo, right?
No. That's my mother-in-law.
I thought maybe she was working on some exotic animals.
No. We just got the tour over there. She's a tour guide there. But my wife's a small animal veterinarian.
Yeah. All right.
And she's a very smart lady. Fezzy could attest to that.
I think she's smart.
He took you to the zoo for free. He's not going to run you down. So there you go, Norm.
I'm on your side, Norm.
Yeah. Fez, I laid off him because he did something nice for you and your family, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's plenty. In the meantime, let me know when somebody's like, oh, yeah, I love animals so much, I'm going to stick them behind bars and let kids throw peanuts at them. Pat, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, we had a dog, really rough shape. Took it to the vet. We were young at the time. My wife and I didn't know. The bill came out to $700 and some. The dog wasn't really doing better. And they basically said, if you don't pay the bill, we're keeping the dog. Can you imagine if they did that to people?
If you don't pay this bill, I'm keeping this fucking dog.
That's right.
How is that a punishment? You're keeping a sick dog.
No, he said you're not getting him back.
Right, yeah. Why would the vet want to hang on to a sick dog?
He's going to put him to sleep, Fezzy, if you don't pay off the $700. That's what he's saying. That's the angle they take with you. Here's Bill. Bill, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
I think it's harder to become a vet just because you got all those critters you got to learn about. But I think that they're just so much lazier.
In what way?
Than doctors. Well, I have a friend that's a vet, and he really does nothing as far as treating the animals. He just gives them a prescription and says, see you in a couple months.
Right. That's his main thing. He just tries to knock everything out of the system. Here's a bunch of antibiotics. I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
Take him out of here.
We got a dog that's 4 years old, and he's still saying it's growing pains.
All right, see you later. I'll tell you this. This is one thing I can't stand to look at. Any vet that will take off a dog's leg and then lets him live. I can't stand a three-legged dog.
A dog will adapt immediately to having 3 legs. It will be up and running. It's like it didn't even know it had 4 legs to begin with.
Didn't need all of them.
Yeah.
Let's face it. You really need 4 legs? We get by on 2. The most you need is 2.
I saw one
and
of those,
a pirate can get by on 1.
I saw one of those creepy dogs the other day on the east side where 2 legs missing and it's on a cart. So it's using the front paws and the back hindquarters are just on a cart that it's pulling along.
A friend of mine had a dog like that too. I was like, just put it to sleep. It's just it was suffering because it had cancer and it was dying. I was like, just put it to sleep already. Don't let him suffer.
That's what I'm thinking about doing with you, Earl. I don't want you to suffer. I really don't.
Just give me the silver salad, Ronnie.
Again with the silver salad. He's hoping. Here's Jason. Jason, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's going on, buddies?
Yeah.
Man, the other night, some hayseed from South Florida, we're talking fishing, and you talk about people bringing in wild animals to the vet. He said some friends of his were out there, and this dog, I don't know how far offshore.
Urban myth.
What's that?
Urban myth. They found a dog in the water.
Yeah.
They brought him back in, and it was a rat that jumped off one of the cruise ships.
Yeah, I had beer running out my nose laughing at this fucking
Yeah, because it's a lie. Call your friend back and say it's a fucking lie. It's been around for 25 years.
Buddy of mine was fishing.
I hate urban myths and urban myth spreaders. They're the two worst things in the world. Here's Charles. Charles in charge. You're on Ron and Fez.
Good morning.
Go ahead, Charles.
Listen, I want to let you know, man, you go to a pet doctor in an ethnic neighborhood where there's a lot of Mexicans, a lot of blacks, the prices are cheaper, a whole lot cheaper. They don't come because they know they won't pay the money.
Is that true?
That is exactly
It's
true.
a sliding scale with the vets, depending on the neighborhood?
Plus, they know that the vets know that the government won't give welfare to them niggers for their dogs.
Go ahead, Earl. Enjoy it.
We're redneck. We don't know our ass from a hole in the ground. We're redneck. We're redneck. We're keeping the niggers down.
And that last caller, a vegan. That's a vegan for you right there. Oh, they love animals. They hate black people. Did you ever notice that every vegetarian you ever meet hates black people? Why is that, Earl?
Where's that come from?
Maybe because we're big meat eaters.
You
I
are.
have no idea.
How many times you run into a black vegetarian?
Never.
Never. It's true.
There's not one.
We were born to eat. We're carnivores by nature.
You're born to be alive. I think how it comes to the best. Yeah. Here's Glenn. Glenn, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, buddy? What's happening, Glenn?
Hi, Ronnie. I hope you probably don't recognize me. I have laryngitis. I'm best in show on the board. As a matter of fact, I show dogs myself.
Why would you have a show dog? You sound like a man.
You know, you met me.
Yeah, but why would you have a show dog?
I love Doberman pinches. Show dogs are cool, actually. But I'll tell you that the problem is that it's easy to be a vet, that most vets just happen to suck. And I'll tell you that most dog show people do a lot of the treating of their animals themselves because most vets don't know what they're doing.
They don't trust.
They don't. They give their own shots, a lot of their own diagnosis and all that kind of stuff.
Now, why do you think most veterinarians aren't good at their craft?
Well, like you said, it doesn't pay well. I mean, I have another great vet. As a matter of fact, I wish he treated people. He's not good, but it's far and few between.
Yeah.
I mean, most vets really don't give a crap. Most vets, like you said, are very quick to put to sleep. And you know, everything is they try to bleed what they can out of it. They don't really care if they know anything or not. So the problem is you know, like you said, it doesn't pay well enough. So you're not going to have a lot of top-notch vets.
All right, thank you very much, Glenn.
Okay, bye.
All right, go rest yourself. You ought to go to the vet right now.
Have him look at that throat before the next show.
Every vegan, every vegetarian hates black people. I don't know why, Earl. I don't know where the racism comes from. I don't agree with it. I like a steak, but I get along with black people.
Maybe it has to do with the pork thing, too.
Nah.
A lot of pigs getting killed.
That's right.
A lot.
Yeah, I guess they're holding that against you.
Millions.
Fez, your new diet, you're kind of a vegan, huh? You're kind of a vegetarian?
Yeah, because now I think I only eat chicken now.
Yeah.
So I've cut out any sort of red meat animal. So
Why is
that's
that?
all done.
Bad for your heart?
Yeah. So the lean white meat chicken is basically what I live on now.
Now, can you be a vegetarian and eat fish?
I don't think so. I think you got to give up the fish, too.
No, you can eat fish on your diet?
Yeah.
It's better for you than chicken, right?
Yeah. I don't run into a lot of fish.
You got to go into the restaurant.
Yeah, I got to go looking for it.
Yeah, I don't expect you to catch them. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of fish out there, especially in this town. You eat a lot of great fish. Here's Earl. Earl, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey, how you boys doing up here in New York?
All right, be ready, Earl.
Hey,
Go
check
ahead.
this out, man. Let me tell y'all something what happened. Veterinarians are scumbag motherfuckers. I bought a bull mastiff, paid $1,500 for it, and it developed some problems. And I took it to the vet, and he told me that, it had some kind of stomach cancer that was terminal. We need to put it down or let it suffer. So I told him I don't want the dog to suffer. So that motherfucker sent me a bill, and I went there about a year later. That motherfucker had my dog in the back and was fucking breeding it, that scumbag shithead.
I thank you very much. What an interesting story.
Sperm thief.
Yeah. It does go back to what the crazy lady said before, Robin, where you try to act like, well, not only is a vet doing a good job, they're better than people because somehow animals are better than humans. That's where you start to pick up that angle with the pro-vet people. It's like somehow they're doing better work because there's something wrong with humans.
Well, they try to describe them as somehow nobler because you're helping God's creatures.
Right. And humans aren't, in their opinion. Humans are somehow...
the devil's spawn.
Right. Dirt. Here's Pat. Pat, you're on Ren and Fez. How you doing, Pat?
Hey, Ronnie, K-Fez. Yeah, I had a dog growing up, and the thing was a car magnet, always getting hit, and basically had 3 working legs, but under the assumption that all 3-legged dogs should be killed, we left the 4th leg on just to kind of float there and hang there.
Smart. Smart idea.
Yeah, that thing won't start to rot and smell too quickly.
Yeah, that's
Better than looking at a 3-legged dog, Fez.
Nice little who cares story for y'all.
No, I loved it. I think, you did the right thing. You left a fake dead leg on there so other people don't have to look over at it. What seems worse, a dead leg or just nothing?
I'm just thinking of that dead leg starting to shrivel.
I mean, here's my thing. If I got an end table, it's only got 3 legs, I throw it the fuck out. Try to have a nice house. I'm going to do the same thing with a pet. I got to have all 4. Because that pet is a reflection of you, Fez.
Well, it'd be a good reflection that you saved its life with the 3 legs.
Yeah, but look how it's getting around. It's fucking hobbling, half crazy. Freaking out kids. A kid sees a 3-legged dog, he starts crying.
I know it couldn't jump in bed with me.
I'm going to tell you right now, when I was a paper boy when I was little, I was a fucking 3-legged dog, and it would bite people. And that used to fucking freak me out. And I'd have the fucking bag, I'd have the paper bag swinging around, swooping down because it was a front leg, and I'd fucking swing it and knock down that good leg.
That dog just angry at the world for losing a leg.
It was bop, bop, bop up a dog's ass. That was my pleasure. So, Fez, you don't sit around and try to tell me about 3-legged dogs. I got my own history. I'm not speaking in theory like you. I was a PB. I know what it's like out there on the streets. Elfish, you back me up on this 3-legged dog thing? Hold on. I got to get a hold of Elfish. Elfish, you back me up on this 3-legged dog thing?
100%, boss.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Hey, one thing about vets, though.
Yeah.
I saw this thing on the most amazing videos about this vet who was trying to look at an elephant's foot.
Yeah.
And the fucking elephant sat on his head.
That's,
now, that's
no
fucked
good.
up.
Are you telling me
His head went in the elephant's ass.
Yeah. Oh, God. That's disgusting.
That was some fucked up shit.
All right, but you tell me that's never happened, like over in Queens with a big lady? Earl, you know that's probably happened from time to time. You know a doctor's ended up under some big lady's ass.
It's happened once or twice, yes.
They'll slip. I bet every elephant has elephantitis.
What is that exactly?
Where things just get big on you like an elephant's leg.
But isn't that supposed to happen?
An elephant is the only one that could get elephantitis and no one would notice.
I would just call it titus. I wouldn't even bother being redundant calling it elephantitis. That's like saying, oh, Fez had a human heart attack. It's a fucking waste of time to throw the human in there. Hey, Greg, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, buddy? What's happening?
Hey, Greg, go ahead, pal.
Hey, buddies. You know what? It's got to be the vet that's smarter, because the doctor, every time you go to a general practitioner, he says, what's wrong? Say, I got a cold. Okay, here's antibiotics. If not, go see a specialist. They never know what's going on. A vet, if they fuck up with your dog, you're coming right back to him saying, hey, you didn't fix it.
So you're saying the vet's got to do it all?
they've got to do it all, and they got to go in and they got to do different animals each time. Whereas the doctor, if you get something weird going on, they're going to say, "Oh, here, I got a great specialist. Go see him." They still get your money, and then you go see the specialist.
Yeah, general practitioner, let's face it, they're just another version of the reception. You're basically still going through the receptionist thing.
Yeah, they're antibiotics and cough syrup.
And the movie along. Make things happen. Here's Steve. Steve, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, how you doing, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to call and let you know, my buddy's got a three-legged dog, and it's the best Frisbee dog I've ever seen. And I also wanted to tell you, it's not only vegetarians that don't like black people, buddy.
I understand. All right, so here's what he's saying, Earl. There are some meat-eating white people that also don't like blacks. So write that down in your notebook. Earl and I are doing a study right now, Fez, of who doesn't like blacks.
Yeah, just because they eat meat, don't think that they're safe.
Right. That's just more likely to like you. More likely. Right now with vegetarians, it's about 100%. Veterinarians, I couldn't even tell you.
Now we got to pinpoint the region where the highest concentration are.
I understand.
United States.
By the way, what about those Philly fans yesterday? They, once again, proved themselves to be the classiest fans in professional football.
Yeah, Clinton Portis' mother had to be moved to the safety of the sidelines because she was getting shit thrown on her in the stands from the Eagle fans.
Elfish, did that drive you crazy when you saw that?
Oh, they're a pip, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, why show up dressed that way in the other colors? Why can't you show up and sit on your hands like a gentleman? Or in this case, gentlewoman. I don't understand going to somebody else's, she's up there. Y'all gonna get beat. Y'all gonna get your ass kicked. And sooner or later, someone's gonna chuck a beer at her.
She's showing up in the Redskins jersey thinking there's chunky soup scouts there.
I tell you, I've been to many games at RFK, and any idiot that's dumb enough to show up in a Cowboys jersey in that stadium is going to get shit thrown on.
Yeah.
And I've seen it a million times.
Yeah, it's always a mistake wearing the other team's jersey. And then those people are always like, I can't understand it. I bought a ticket, tried to vote for my team. But you're drunk and you're fucking heading into a place where everybody else is going the other way.
Just wearing a bullseye.
Yeah. Then you find yourself, your team is losing. There's Portis' mom up and down, doing whatever fucking dance she's doing.
It's more than these fans could take.
Yeah, they couldn't take it anymore. Here's Tom. Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Fez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a three-legged cat. He's a three-legged black cat, and he's missing one of his front legs. But I'll tell you, it doesn't stop him, and it never has. He races around the house like a rocket, beats the shit out of the other cat. The only thing is, because he's missing a front leg, he tends to compensate by biting things because he doesn't have two paws to work with. So, he's always biting stuff. And I don't know what happened to him because it happened to him when he was a little kitten and he was found mauled in a garbage can. They amputated his bad leg, and he grew up with it fine ever since. But you can't go near him with any kind of an instrument like, nail clippers or anything.
I'd fucking Doug Flutie, that cat. I'd drop kick it. I can't be around a cat that thinks he can start biting.
That cat has to be thinking, why didn't you just leave me in the garbage can? Why did you? Now that I have to bite end tables to stand up.
You think, Fuzzy, that they have any thought process whatsoever?
Yeah.
A cat just sits there. Here's what it eventually hits his head. Mouse. Tuna. Yarn. Mouse. I mean, every once in a while, he just gets the slightest thought. Hate dogs. Like tuna. That's what happens in their brains.
That would be a nice day to have to put in. If that's the only concerns on your cat mind.
Bro, your fucking problems are barely above that. I would love to see a game of Jeopardy, you against a cat. Hey, did you see this fucking cat that called 911?
No.
There was some crazy thing. The lady, 911 gets a call, right? The fucking woman has had a heart attack or something. She's on the ground. They come in there. There's a phone and a cat next to it. They think the cat dialed 911. Knocked the goddamn thing off and hit it.
The emergency for the cat was it didn't think it was going to get its can of cat food. It's trying to save itself.
Here's Bobby. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, boys. What's going on?
Look that story up for me, Harry.
Here's a good question for you. If vets are so damn smart, why can't they keep pit bulls from mauling little kids?
I'll tell you, when I was a kid, my dad used to take us all to the airport and spit on the vets when they came home. That's how much he hated veterinarians.
All right, those were veterans.
Really?
Yes, war veterans.
Huh.
Coming home from duty overseas.
Well, you know, you do what your dad tells you. We spit on him.
After serving the country.
All this time, I thought they were veterinarians.
No. They have nothing to do with animals whatsoever. They're the armed forces.
Here's Derek here on Run of Fez.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Yeah.
This whole pecking order idea about how people who can't become doctors become veterinarians is bullshit. I'm a doctor. I'm in the ER in the Bronx.
Right.
There's just no way that what a veterinarian does is harder than what I do every day. I deal with everything from people who have gas to people who are having heart attacks.
They do not get it when they somehow think working on a squid is easier than working on a kid that just came in from a car accident. Doesn't make sense at all.
Agreed. It doesn't make sense at all. And don't get me wrong, there are dumb doctors and there are probably some smart vets out there, but on a day-to-day basis, what I do is nothing compared to what they do.
I know. I'm with you 1,000,000%, my friend. I salute you. Fez, would you like to apologize to him?
No, I'm not going to apologize to him.
And I'll tell you this. All the parents, they want their children to marry a doctor, right? They want their daughter to marry a doctor. Do you ever hear a Jewish mother going, oh, I hope my daughter marries a veterinarian. Oh, I would be so proud. Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you for the work you're doing every day in the Boogie Down Bronx. You're not fucking wasting your time with squirrels and parrots. You're saving human beings. You're saving drug dealers and bank robbers. You're making things happen for this country. Here's Dave. Dave, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
You know damn well as I do that they weren't throwing shit at Portis's mom because of the jersey she was wearing.
Well,
they were throwing it at her because she kept asking the vendors for fried chicken and watermelon and Kool-Aid.
Did you think that was going to get a laugh, Dave?
Yeah, I have nothing.
Less than nothing.
Hey, Charlie. Charlie, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, Ron, Fez, Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year to you, my friend. Hope it's a great 2006.
Oh, I hope so, too, buddy. I was watching the HBO special the other night. It was called Shock Video, about places like all around the world. There was a gentleman that married his horse, and on television he was actually kissing the horse and making out with him. He was talking about how he was making love to the horse and everything. It was disgusting.
Big, giant horse tongue you're kissing.
That's the least of his problems. The other fucking ad is where it really gets weird.
Bro, check it out, bro. Why don't you guys look it up? It's on Shock Video on HBO.
All right, thank you. All right, Fez, if you were going to have sex with a horse.
Yeah?
Giving or receiving?
Oh, getting.
Disgusting. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back. Ron and Fez.